JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. No Fred Taylor this week. He'll be back with us in 2 weeks. The bye week's coming up this week, and then the Jaguars have the Ravens coming up at home. But today, some missed opportunities for the Jaguars. We've got plenty ahead. Bucky Brooks standing by outside the Jags locker room. We'll hear from head coach Doug Peterson after his media address after the game at Arrowhead. Jags had those opportunities. They had the onside kick on the opening kickoff. They covered it, had to punt. They recovered a fumble on the next drive, had to punt. They couldn't get anything going offensively. Early in the game, Kansas City started chipping away, getting down the field. The Jags missed a couple field goals in key moments, couldn't keep it close. Could have been 2013 at halftime. It wasn't. The insurmountable lead at half, and Jags just couldn't find any traction offensively when it really mattered today.
I mean, JP, if I told you you get an onside kick, you'll recover it. You'll win the turnover battle 3-0 in this football game. Trevor Lawrence will complete just about 75% of his passes. Won't turn it over at all. Throw for a couple of touchdowns. Christian Kirk will have 100-plus yards receiving and a couple of scores. How big did we win by?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But, they squandered it. They had a lot of opportunities. They couldn't really do much with the ball. We talked about at halftime in the first half, and then they missed the field goals, which, you're taking opportunities to get points off the board there. Rather have touchdowns, but at least make the kicks when the opportunity's there. And then Cam Robinson on the opening drive of the second half cost him 4 points, getting downfield like he didn't know the play. Trevor Lawrence had a touchdown to Evan Ingram. That would have been his ultimately 3 touchdowns in the game passing for him, and Cam Robinson's in the end zone blocking somebody. And it was, the look on Trevor's face was like, what are you doing?
What happened?
Right, what happened there? And, that's just a self-inflicted wound that cost them 4 points right there. This is a game they lost by 10. 4 points on that play. 2 missed field goals. My math's fuzzy, but that's more than 10 right there. The Jags, again, another game they could have won, but they didn't win. And they got really nothing out of the running game today, which made the fact that they were able to hang around that much more impressive, I suppose.
Kansas City spreading the wealth today offensively. 4 different players caught touchdown passes in the game. Kelsey, Valdez-Scantling, Tony, Gray. I mean, guys, a couple of those guys had not had one all season long. Of course, they had a receiver out today. They've got some. They're just kind of picking their poison today, and they spread it around enough. And Mahomes worked some of the run game in there with a handoff to Tony at one point. Pacheco added up 82 yards on 16 carries late in the game, and then they found Kelsey when it mattered on a couple of those big catches late in the game as well. So, at the end of the day, Mahomes goes for 331, 4 touchdowns with an interception, rating of 129.6 in the game, and there you have it. They're the best passing offense in football, but it's not like they're going for 80-yard touchdowns. They were just chipping away all day long.
But JP, they did it without Mecole Hardman the whole game. Juju Smith-Schuster goes out very early, so you're talking about your top 2 wide receivers on this football team. Travis Kelce was held in check for a good portion of this football game, so all this is happening, and the Jags can't take advantage of it. And, they forgot to cover Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Kadarius Toney had his best game of the season, probably his second best as a pro at this point. Jerick McKinnon, we talked about him in the pregame. He was questionable to play, got downgraded as the week went along, came in and caught 6 passes today. That's more his role. And they let Isaiah Pacheco go for 5 yards a carry on a team that couldn't run the ball at all in recent weeks. So, a lot of things went right. A lot of things went wrong, though, for the Jacksonville Jaguars today.
Plenty to come on Jaguars postgame. Bucky Brooks standing by outside the Jaguars locker room. He'll visit with Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson after a Jaguars loss today in Kansas City, 27-17, the final score. We'll keep you posted on some of these other games going on. The Bills and the Vikings, what a game that is. 2 really good football teams, 27-23 the score. The Bills have the lead. It was 4th and goal at the 1, and Minnesota trying a quarterback sneak. And at first call, he's down short. Kirk Cousins short of the goal line. That's the call on the field. They'll take a look at that. We'll keep you posted on some of these other games as well. So plenty ahead. We'll come back in a moment and continue to recap this one. Another frustrating day at the office for the Jaguars today. It was at Arrowhead in Kansas City. 27-17, missed opportunities, not enough offense when it mattered, and the Jaguars fall to a record of 3-7 on the season. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the print services you need for your business. Need large banners and signs for your next promotional event? How about custom boxes to advertise your company fleet? Find out for yourself how Kessler Creative can help you stand out from the competition with eye-catching designs that are sure to impress your customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of Jacksonville Jaguars.
How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing, focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Jaguars Postgame is presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score in Kansas City, the Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, no Fred Taylor this week. Bucky Brooks standing by at Arrowhead. We'll get with him right outside the Jaguars locker room. He'll visit with Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson coming up after the head coach visits with the media after the Jags loss. Some missed opportunities early in the game. The Jaguars trailed at half 20-7. They had missed a couple field goals, and then later just couldn't find enough offense to get it done, to get over the top today. The Chiefs led throughout. It was a 20-0 lead at one point, and of course they end up winning the game by 10 today in Kansas City. Now a 7-2 record for the Chiefs. The Jags now 3-7 on the year. And the Ravens are coming in here after the bye week coming up next. So
yeah, look, it's not, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Everyone's playing for what they're playing for. Their eye on the postseason. Jags are going to have to regroup and come out and, basically come close to running the table if they want to be playoff relevant. They're going to certainly have to beat the Ravens to get rolling here. And we talked about it, JP. The Jags needed to score early in this football game. They had the opportunity. I got to say this for the Jaguar Radio Network listening audience. JP Shadrick, he had the best call in 9 years of doing this with you. He goes, the Jags are onside kicking today. He goes, and I don't know exactly what you said, but you said something to the effect of, maybe it's going to be one of those ones where Patterson just goes up there and rolls it to himself. And I mean, not 10 seconds later, that's exactly what happened.
I think I said it was like, hey, they need to steal some possessions.
I know,
be aggressive.
But I mean,
maybe it's an onside kick. Maybe it's a fake field goal.
But you even
maybe
said
it's
the onside kick with the roller, and wow, that was a great call by you.
I didn't know anything. I was just
squandered opportunity though for the Jags as they got the ball and were unable to do anything with it. And I think that takes the wind out of your sails, just like at the end of the half. You're right. You get the field goal opportunity after the fumble recovery. You are flying high if you make that kick right there.
I mean, they on their first three offensive possessions, right? The first one was after the onside kick. Mm-hmm. The second one was after the fumble recovery. The next one was after Kansas City scored their opening touchdown to make it 7-0. Those three drives were each under 3 minutes. Didn't have the ball at all. I mean,
Right.
It was 5 plays punt, 4 plays punt, three and out. I mean, you can't do anything.
So you kind of stole a possession, but all it amounted to was running about 2 minutes off the clock.
That's it.
Right, and it did nothing. It didn't wear down the Kansas City defense. It didn't have any real effect other than to shorten the game by 2 minutes, which, had it played out a different way, might have mattered, but obviously it played out the way it did, and it just could not get that offense going, JP. I wonder if they just decided they were going to really rely more on the passing game today anyway, because Travis Etienne had such a big workload in the last couple of weeks, but it was pretty clear there weren't that many great holes for him. I thought the Kansas City defensive line did a nice job there. He ended up averaging 4.1 yards a pop on 11 carries, but for only 45 yards, his lowest usage in several weeks, and he'll have many more big days ahead, to be sure.
Chris Jones was, mentioned a lot today
Too
for
much.
Kansas City, and that's never a good thing if you're trying to block him.
Well, yeah, and I mean, really, you look back to last week, and you compare this team, the Jags, the team they have to get past in the division is the Tennessee Titans, right? And Tennessee neutralized Chris Jones for a large portion of that game last week, and that's in large part why they stayed in that game as long as they did. They held the lead into the fourth quarter until Patrick Mahomes turned on the magic. But, look, Kansas City's a good team. We knew they were going to be tough to beat, but I feel like the Jags squandered a lot of opportunities today. I'm not saying they were the better team. Give credit to the Chiefs. They won, and had they been pushed, maybe could have done more if they needed to, but would have liked to have seen them take advantage of the opportunities that they did have today.
How about this Vikings-Bills game? Cousins was ruled down at the 1 on 4th down, so Bills had the ball from their own 1 with the lead. Well, Josh Allen fumbled the snap. It was recovered in the end zone for a touchdown for the Vikings to take the lead with 41 seconds left in the game. Unbelievable.
That really is unbelievable. I thought I was trying to watch out of the corner of my eye there. I wasn't sure if they were trying to say somebody got stuffed for a safety or what the deal was. So they score a defensive touchdown.
Unbelievable.
In the last minute of the game right there.
Now with 41 seconds, and the Bills are out of timeouts, and they're going to get the ball back down 3 all of a sudden.
Yeah, by the way, from what I could tell today, we saw some highlights. Josh Allen looked like he threw the ball fine. He didn't look like he was too encumbered by the elbow injury. He did get the start today, but now they're down 36 seconds left. We'll see if he can do the old Patrick Mahomes deal. That's, nearly 3 times as much time as Mahomes had to get in field goal position in the postseason last year against them. We'll see if they can do something against Minnesota here.
Plenty ahead. We're standing by to hear from head coach Doug Peterson in Kansas City after a Jaguars loss to the Chiefs today, 27-17, the final score. PRI Productions, the Southeast full-service event company, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com and learn more. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home. Because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
Patrick before, just assess his game. He seemed to keep pulling things out of his hat.
Yeah, great player. Does a great job outside the pocket, and that's where a lot of the big plays come from. And it's hard to defend. You got to play snap to whistle, and he does. He's probably one of the best in football at it.
Trevor's performance today, obviously, you'd like to have more points, but what did you make of it overall as it came out?
Yeah, obviously we'll look at the film, on the way back, but I thought I mean, I thought he played well, had great poise. I know there's some pressure in the first half that we eliminated in the second half, and he played tough, had some big moments out there, made some big throws. And he just keeps showing improvement each week, and that's what all we can ask for, and just his growth and development, and it's just I think as a team today, it was just a game of missed opportunity.
Struggled to run the football throughout most of the game. Was that something the Chiefs did, or was it just a matter of you guys not able to execute certain plays? Or
I mean, it's a little bit of them, and obviously a little bit of us, and we got to pride ourselves a little bit more on running the ball and kind of controlling it a little bit, but they did a nice job of just kind of controlling the line of scrimmage at times, and but it's something we got to do. We got to clean it up. Obviously, we get time now this week to look at some stuff and get ready for the back half of this year.
Was Devin Lloyd injured, or was the decision just made to put Chad in there more in the second half?
Yeah, there was no injury. We just needed to get Chad in the game.
Was the plan always to do an onside kick to start if you had that opportunity, or was that something you just took right away?
I wasn't telling you on Wednesday that I was going to do it. It's just, there's things that you'd look at, and Heath and Luke do a great job of, studying the opponents, right? And anytime you can take an advantage of an opportunity, we're going to try to do that, and especially against a really good football team. You hope that by stealing that possession right there, you go down and get 3 or 7, right? And take a little sting out of the game a little bit, maybe out of the crowd. But it's unfortunate we got stopped on that first possession, and we had opportunities. They were there. We just didn't capitalize. But as the week went on, I just got more comfortable at taking the onside if it was there.
+3 in turnover, onside kick recover. You kind of did some of those intangible things that generally happen to teams that win games.
And I think it was only 7 points maybe off all that, I think, and that's the game. That's the game for me. It comes down to missed opportunities, and it's a learning opportunity, for our football team that you create the takeaways, you get a great play on special teams, and really special teams kind of kept us in. I mean, the return game was outstanding today, and I think we even had a turnover on special teams, and we've got to score more. We got to score more points off of those takeaways.
Talk about the hard hitting. There was a couple of plays that they even threw a penalty flag on one on a roughing the passer and pulled it back. Is that the type of defense that you're wanting to coach? Hit them hard and live right on the edge?
I mean, you want your guys to play aggressive and play physical and play within the rules. I mean, that's what we got to do. But you don't ever want to take the physicality away from anybody. Offense, defense, special teams, and we're gonna play. And this is a game too where you have to play snap to whistle, and we'll take a look at everything this week and see where we're at on some of those plays. But you never want to obviously hurt anybody, put anybody in harm's way. But again, at the same time, you want to keep the aggressiveness and the physicality of the game.
Is there anything mechanically wrong with the field goals that Riley missed?
I don't think so. I'll take a look at it, but just missed two kicks, and obviously can't do it. Can't give up points, right? These are the missed opportunities that we're talking about.
Were there miscommunication issues on defense? And I think all 4 touchdowns wide open. Just guys not getting in the right spots, not communicating, or what do you make of that?
Again, I think it has to come down to just watching the film and really making a give you a better answer, quite honestly, until I look at that and look at it and see exactly what happened.
What do your message to these guys after a game like this, going into a bye when they have maybe a little bit more time to stew over it?
Biggest thing, you look at it, just like I'm saying here, the missed opportunities, right? And when you play great football teams, and the Chiefs are one of those great football teams, well coached, you've got to capitalize. I know they pride themselves on taking care of the football, and when you can create those opportunities as a team, we have got to take advantage of that, and we didn't do it as a football team today. And so that's really the message, and it's about missed opportunities. But I will say this, I mean, it's not for lack of effort or, anything like that at all. And we've played 10 straight weeks now. And so, the team needs a break at this time. It's a good time for it to kind of step away. And I told them to kind of regroup and really think about the first 10. But more importantly, I want to think about the next back half of this, or third of this season. And really focus on that. And because I still think, and I believe that our goals are still in front of us, Yeah, we made it a little bit harder today, but I think if we continue to improve, anything's possible moving forward.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Jaguars locker room. The Jags fall to a record of 3-7, and Kansas City is now 7-2 in this 2022 campaign. Doug Peterson now with Bucky Brooks in Kansas City. Bucky?
Coach, thoughts on a tough performance against the Kansas City Chiefs today?
Missed opportunities, I think, is the name of the game. 3 takeaways, an onside kick to start the game, and only 7 points, I think, to show for it. So, and then 2 missed field goals. And so for me, it's and this is what I shared with the team after the game. When you're playing good football teams or going against good football teams, and you have that many opportunities, you got to capitalize. You've got to score points, and we didn't do that today. And so for me, you could talk about all the other things that we didn't do well. That's what this game comes down to, right? We created turnovers. We got extra possessions offensively. We had points really taken off the board, went from a touchdown to a field goal, and things like that just can't, you can't do those things and expect to win.
You talked about special teams. It appeared from the jump. Special teams came up big. Was that part of the plan to be very aggressive in the kicking game if you had opportunity?
Yeah, we wanted to take advantage of it, and it's something that we worked on during the week, and Heath and I, of course Heath had a plan, and when he presented it to me, and I was all on board, with the onside kick to start the game, and just a well executed play, but we've got to capitalize. That's a great opportunity for us to go down and get 3, possibly a touchdown, and take a little momentum away from them there early in the game.
You talked about the turnovers. The defense appeared to kind of settle in, particularly in the second half. What was the key to kind of slowing down their offense?
Number one, you gotta contain Patrick Mahomes. You got to keep him in the pocket, or at least in a position to where he doesn't get a chance to run around and have great vision down the field and find some wide open guys. And there were still some big plays made, but I think for the most part we were able to do that. In the second half, we got off the field. We forced them to punt a couple times. The takeaways were critical. Obviously, defense was physical, played good at times, but again, it's doesn't do you any good if the offense doesn't go down. That's that complementary aspect we talked about even last week, right? And we just didn't have that today.
So, in heading into the bye week, what do you take from this performance to try and work on to get back, so when we see the Jaguars the next time, they're back on track and maybe they're performing better?
Well, as a staff, we've got to look at everything. We've got to go back and reevaluate everything that we're doing, in all 3 phases, and really see if there's some changes that can be made. Whether it's in the scheme, people need to play more, play less, whatever it is. This is a time to kind of do that, and for the players, it's a time to get healthy, get fresh, kind of get rejuvenated for the back half of our, or the back third of our season, because everything's still in front of us. It's not like, I still at 3-7. It sounds bad, but with 7 games to go, if you go on a run and you end up, let's say you end up 10-7, you got a chance to go to the postseason still. So that's got to be our focus. That's got to be our goal as we go into the bye.
Cool. Well, best of luck to you. Enjoy the bye week. We'll see you before the Raisins.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Cool.
All right, that's head coach Doug Peterson with Bucky Brooks. We'll take a timeout. The highlights ahead. The Jaguars fall in Week 10 to the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-17. The Jags fall to a record of 3-7. The Chiefs now 7-2. That was the Locker Room Report presented by Baptist Health and the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions Reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Justin Timoneri, Florida's culinary ambassador. If you've enjoyed preparing fresh from Florida recipes, then you're going to love the Fresh from Florida Club. As a member, you'll be able to search and save delicious recipes, create custom menus, and ask me your cooking questions. Each month, you'll also get a list of what's in season, so you can make your family the freshest meals possible. It's free and easy to sign up. And best of all, you'll be supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. Join the club at followfreshfromflorida.com today.
Welcome back to Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC. Jaguars fall in Week 10, 27-17. The final. Chiefs now 7-2. The Jaguars 3-7 on the season. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, no Fred Taylor today. PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jags, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. Let's get to the highlights from today's game. Frank Franzi with the call on Jaguars Radio. The Jaguars, the sneaky Jaguars, with an onside kick to open the game. They recover it, but unfortunately have to punt the ball away. First Kansas City possession. Running back Isaiah Pacheco fumbled the ball, forced by Rayshon Jenkins. Devin Lloyd with a recovery. But again, the Jaguars can't do anything with it offensively. They have to punt for a second time. Kansas City back on the field for their second possession. 5 plays, 80 yards, just over 2.5 minutes, and Patrick Mahomes into the end zone.
Play fake. Mahomes looks. Now he fires it out to the right side. Caught by Kadarius Toney, who tight ropes the sideline and walks into the end zone. He was uncovered. He just had to stay in bounds, and he did. It's an easy touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they strike first.
He hopped on his right leg about 7 times from the 10-yard line, down the sideline, through the end zone to the back line of the end zone on one leg, and it was 7-0 Kansas City with the lead. Jaguars go 3 and out. Kansas City punts. The Jaguars have a chance for a 51-yard field goal, but Riley Patterson missed it, and it was still 7-0. Chiefs back on offense, starting at the 41-yard line after the missed field goal. So a short field, Mahomes finding a wide receiver this time for another touchdown.
Play fake, Mahomes drops, steps forward, fires, wide open in the back of the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown. Wide open pass to Marcus Valdez-Scantling, and the Chiefs have extended the lead here at Arrowhead.
18-yard touchdown, the extra point good, 14-0 Chiefs for the league. Jags go 3 and out again. Kansas City punts, Jaguars punt. Here comes Kansas City again. Mahomes to a backup tight end for another score.
He dropped again, 3-man rush this time for Jacksonville. Look, fires toward the end zone, wide open in the corner of the end zone. I mean, wide open was Noah Gray, the tight end. And that'll be a touchdown as Kansas City has extended the lead.
They missed the extra point, though, 20-0, and all 3 touchdowns, as Frank said, wide open. And, yeah, it's about right. It was 20-0, all Kansas City. The Jaguars, though, did get something going on the next drive. 2-minute situation. They go 5 plays, 61 yards, and Christian Kirk on the receiving end from Trevor.
Dropping against a blitz. Trevor fires. That ball is going to be in the corner of the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Christian Kirk got both feet down, and the Jags score late in the half.
Well, the extra point good, 20-7, Kansas City with the lead. Ensuing kickoff return was fumbled by Kansas City. Jaguars recovered it and had a chance with a quick throw outside to the sideline to get out of bounds with a couple seconds left, and that set up a 41-yard field goal try from Riley Patterson, but he missed it. His second missed field goal of the first half. It was 20-7 at halftime. Kansas City with the lead. Jaguars opened the second half with a 17-play, 58-yard drive in just over 9 minutes. Patterson did hit that field goal from 35 yards. 20-10 the score. Chiefs with the lead. And here come the Chiefs back on offense, starting to burn some clock. Just over 5 minutes off the game clock. And Mahomes to his favorite target in the third quarter.
Mahomes drops the throw, 3-man rush, fires left side, caught by Kelsey into the end zone for the touchdown. He caught it, threw it to him right in the seam there, and he backed into the end zone, and another touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Extra point good. Travis Kelsey on the receiving end, 7-yarder, 10 plays, 75 yards, 27-10 Kansas City. The Jaguars have to punt it away on their next possession. Then back on offense, Kansas City. Mahomes moving the football down the field, but Andre Sisco comes through with the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game.
It's a blitz this time. Looking, he's hit, stays on his feet, keeps scrambling, stays alive, goes Mahomes, now he fires it downfield. That ball's picked off. It is intercepted by Andre Sisco, running it back, steps out of bounds. What a game he has had. He picks it off and runs it back to around the 46-yard line.
Public enemy number 1 in Kansas City today. Andre Sisco with the interception, the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. The Jaguars do cash that in, though. Lawrence for the second time for Christian Kirk.
5:32 to play. 3rd and 3 from the 19 of Kansas City. Trailing 27-10, dropping, 4-man rush. Trevor looks, fires toward the end zone. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Christian Kirk into the end zone for the score.
Great catch by Christian Kirk on the right side of the end zone to bring it in and then roll around and hang on to possession, and the Jaguars on the board, but down 10 after the extra point, 27-17. That would be it. No more chances for the Jaguars. That's how it sounded today on Jaguars Radio. We're back in a moment with the VyStar final stats. Plenty more ahead. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, glad you're along with us. Final score, Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17. The Chiefs now 7-2. The Jaguars move to 3-7. And this is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network. At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. ViStar Credit Union, ViStarCU.org. Go Jags!
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else. Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
It's football season, and time to take your game to the next level with a Ford F-150 truck. Light up your tailgate with an available Pro Power onboard generator. And with an available 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, you can tow just about anything you need to rule the stadium lot. Ford F-150, part of the F-Series lineup that have been the best-selling pickups for 45 straight years. Get to your local Ford store today. Proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. No Fred Taylor today. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. The Chiefs over the Jags 27-17. And let's take a look at the ViStar final stats. Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. Well, the Chiefs have the advantage in many of the areas today. First downs 26-17. They outgained the Jaguars total yardage today 486 to 315. Rushing yards, 155 for the Chiefs, 75 for the Jags. 331 passing for Kansas City, 240 for Jacksonville. Penalties, 5 for 30 yards against the Jaguars. Some key moments as well. The ineligible man downfield took a touchdown off the board for the Jags. 5 penalties, 30 yards. No penalties for Kansas City in the game. The Chiefs turned it over 3 times to the Jaguars today. And time of possession just barely in favor of the Jags, 31 minutes, 39 seconds in the game. And as you mentioned off the top, Mike, you know, an onside kick that you recovered to start the game, 3 takeaways as a team today. And, they lose by 10.
Well, you look at the team stats, 4-14 on third down. That killed them.
That's not good.
I mean, just killed them. And you had those 3 possessions early, JP, they're all under 3 minutes in length, right? And that was it. You couldn't sustain drives early in the football game. So, you know, some of that goes on Trevor Lawrence, to be sure. Had the big drop early on, but just offensively took a while to get in gear. You would have won if they could have scored on that opening drive even. I wonder what the game might have played out like, but who knows? You know, Kansas City also reached a point where they're in the lead. As long as we don't mess this thing up, we're probably going to win this football game, even with the turnovers that we had. So who knows if you force them to kick it into gear. They're a team that's very capable of doing it. Trevor Lawrence on the day, 29 of 40, 259, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 5 times, had a quarterback rating of 106.1. Patrick Mahomes, however, 26 of 35, 331, 4 touchdowns. He threw the interception. He'll shrug that off with his quarterback rating of 129.6. Travis Etienne, a light workload day for him after back-to-back weeks where he accumulated 51 carries, 11 for 45. Trevor Lawrence chipping in with 4 for 26. Isaiah Pacheco had 16 carries for 82 yards, a 5.1 yards per clip average. No rushing touchdowns in the game today. For the Jaguars, Christian Kirk, 9 catches on 12 targets for 105 yards, scored the 2 touchdowns. Several of those catches are the acrobatic variety. Zay Jones chipped in mightily today with 8 grabs of his own for 68 yards. Nobody else had more than 3 catches for Jacksonville. Travis Kelce, only 7 targets on the day. So I don't know if it's something defensively that the Jags were doing to present some looks to take him away, because you would think with no McCole Hardman, no Juju Smith-Schuster for a large portion of the game, Kelce would get more looks there. 6 for 81. He ended up catching on those 7 targets for a score, or including a score. Marquez Valdes-Scantling at 3 for 60 and a touchdown. Kadarius Toney, 4 for 57 and a touchdown. Noah Gray caught 2 for 20. And, yes, a touchdown as well. Foye Oluokun led the way for the Jags, 7 tackles, all of those of the solo variety, and not a single sack registered by this pass rush. And we said that was going to be something to see if they could, you want to keep Mahomes in the pocket. You got to pressure him. You eventually got to get him on the ground a few times as well, and they are unable to do that today.
There you have it, the VyStar final stats, final score, Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17. An update on the Vikings-Bills game. It is in overtime. The Vikings kicked a field goal with about 3.5 minutes left in overtime, so the Bills got the football. There have been 2 long runs for Josh Allen to get into field goal range at least, with now the 2-minute warning of overtime, and the Bills are within striking distance of touchdown would win the game for the Bills. We'll keep you posted on that game as we move along as well. Some good football up in Buffalo today. 2 really good football teams, the Vikings and the Bills. We're back in a moment. Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting still to come. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score at Arrowhead, Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17. The Chiefs now 7-2. The Jags fall to 3-7, and the bye week coming up next week. An update on that Vikings-Bills game in overtime, inside 2 minutes. Josh Allen throws an interception in the end zone. The Vikings win with an overtime field goal and then hold on defense with a pick. So the Vikings get the win on the road in front of Bills Mafia.
I think a lot of people questioning the Vikings' record because they've won so many close games, scraping by, and a lot of them, their only loss is to Philadelphia. And now they've beaten the Bills in Buffalo, and Josh Allen played and threw for over 300 yards in this game, despite the fact that his elbow wasn't 100%. Minnesota is just going out there and getting the job done week after week after week. This is a big win for Kirk Cousins, who does, I know it's not a primetime game, but he has not always risen to the occasion in the biggest moments.
They're running away with the NFC North, by the way.
They really are.
I mean, they won again today, and Detroit was 3-6, so they're in second place. It's a runaway right now in the North. Of course, here in the AFC South, the Titans got a win today. The Colts have just kicked off. They have an early lead on Las Vegas. The Jaguars fell, and the Texans fell today as well. Hey, let's get the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. Fred's not here today, but Tony Smith gets the vote and a half to break any deadlocks. And I'm going to start with Christian Kirk today.
Are you?
I am. Targeted, 12 times in the game. Had a pretty nice total of catches today. Goes over 100 yards. Has a couple touchdowns. Yes, he had a key drop on the opening drive after the onside kick that would have put the Jags in the red zone. But, 12 targets, 9 catches, 105, 2 touchdowns. Hard to argue, at least in my view.
I think there's one player that you can make an argument for, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it just to give somebody some recognition. So I'm going to take the drama out of it. I could vote for that guy and put it in Tony Smith's hands, but I do think Christian Kirk deserves it overall, so I don't want to take the risk that Tony will agree with me vote for the other guy.
Okay.
So,
right.
9 for 105, 2 touchdowns. This is what you kind of envisioned. Christian Kirk had been on a pace, JP, for about 1,100 yards and 9 scores this year. This will bump him up probably, I'm guessing, maybe closer to 1,200 yards and maybe double-digit touchdowns is the pace he's probably on in his first season here in Jacksonville. So, when the dust settles, he's getting the job done.
All right, Tony Smith, you have a lame duck vote.
Yeah, should have let me go first, and then there would have been some drama in this because I would have voted for Andre Sisco regardless of what you guys voted for. I think that Andre Sisco with the interception.
Really good defense, too, over there. So, they did some stuff in the first half offensively where we didn't really play our best ball. They did some stuff defensively where offensively we didn't play our best ball, didn't execute well. We kind of started getting a little bit of a rhythm at the end of that first half, going into the second half. But too many missed opportunities too early. And we still had our chance at the end of the game and didn't make the plays to get back in it there. But, it's hard to overcome when you miss that many opportunities early in the game and, against a good team. So just a little bit too many of those.
Yeah, 2.5 to 1 pass to run ratio. Was that by design or game situation? Way to run from you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the run game is something that we've been really good at, this season, and that's always an emphasis for us. And we got great backs and great guys up front and tight ends to execute it. And today I feel like they had a really good plan for stopping the run. It's obviously something that we do well, and we still hit a few, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff to learn from on tape. I thought there was times where they kind of beat us to the spot just because it felt like they had a good idea of where we were heading. So that's all stuff, you're playing on the road, they time up your cadence, all that. They brought some pressures that they did a good job. So those are all things we'll learn from, and we'll watch the tape, and we got an extra week now so we can really dive into that even more. So there'll be a lot of stuff to learn from.
How close is this? How close is this team to being able to overcome those mistakes with a margin for error? It's very slim right now. How close is this group to maybe being able to expand that a little?
We're right there of winning these games, and we've said that the whole season, and it's just every week, no matter who you're playing. Like I said, especially when you're playing a great team like Kansas City, it's hard to overcome those. And right now, with where we're at, we need to make those plays and keep that momentum, and that's where we're at right now. And that's. You look at the locker room after the game, and everybody believes in what we're doing. Everybody believes where we're heading. We know that, but it's just still frustrating when you feel like you're in these games and you don't make all the plays that you have to make to win them. And that's the same story that we've talked about, and that's going to always be – it's always our message. It's about us. There's the things that we can control, we have to execute. The defense, for just speaking offensively, the defense is going to make some plays, but, as far as alignment, execution, hitting the easy throws, whatever it is, we gotta hit those, and that's always going to be the message is control what you can control. They're always going to make some plays, but we got to be better executing just, from our standpoint.
Specifically, how much momentum did you feel like you had at the end, that last 4 minutes of the third quarter, but you get the missed field goal and then a touchdown taken away? I mean,
You're talking about the momentum we had at the end, or just
score a touchdown, you get the turnover, you miss the kick, you come out with a 9-minute drive, but you only get 3 out of it. I mean, specifically, does that sum it up, really? I mean, where you guys were really grooving? but couldn't get as much out of it maybe as you could have.
Yeah, and that just goes back into the missed opportunities. That obviously that was one of them. And then you look at, we talked about too, field position. We had some great opportunities to maximize that field position early on. I mean, essentially stole a possession from them and had an opportunity to get down to at least get some points, but score a touchdown. Obviously that's the ideal, but we come away, we have to punt it, don't get any points there. And then later on, I think we had 2 or 3 turnovers today. It was huge for us to be able to get those possessions and just didn't capitalize on them. I think that's the biggest thing is you got to play complementary football, and I thought at times there was moments where we all played great in certain moments, but we have to do that more, and we have to be on the same page, and we got to complement each other. Defense gets a big stop, we got to go score. We have to punt, we got to get a stop, just back and forth, and that's what great teams do, and we're close, but we just got to start doing more of that.
I'm assuming you're probably not in the special teams meetings, but were you aware the onside kick was coming at the beginning of the game? Is that something you guys are all kind of watching and knowing it's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, we knew there was a chance that it was going to happen. You never know, coach or whoever can change their mind right before, but kind of had an idea of what was happening. But I was sitting over there just not wanting to. You don't want to be over there with your helmet on, make it obvious, ready to go out there. So no, we executed it great, and that's where you're kicking yourself. You get the ball on the. What were we on, the minus 45 or so, and just didn't get any points out of it, so that's frustrating.
As a quarterback, talk about Patrick Mahomes' ability to just seemingly pull things out of thin air.
It's tough, you're sitting over there and you feel like you're looking at the play, you got everybody covered up downfield, the pocket's closing in, and then he whirls out of there and makes a play. It's part of what makes him great. He's a great player, and it's just going to make our team better because obviously playing against guys like that is tough. And I thought we did some really good things on defense today. Just watching, created some turnovers, got the ball back for us. But yeah, he's a great player, and you're never going to completely stop those guys. But I thought our guys did a good job of taking advantage of some opportunities and making it harder on them. And yeah, he's a great player, and they did some good things on offense for sure.
As you head into got time for like 1 or 2 more.
As you head into the bye week, are you in as much control of your game, the offense, everything else, as you felt since you came to the NFL? I mean, these last 2 weeks specifically.
Yeah, I feel really good with where we're at as far as just being on the same page. Especially myself and the receivers. I feel like we've taken some big steps the last couple of weeks, and obviously, our group up front has done a great job all year. So there's a lot of stuff to learn from those. Still too many missed opportunities, passing game, run game, just all over the place. The plays that we can make. So we're going to look at those, but I know we're heading in the right direction, and I'm confident in that. And but to win these games, you can't miss too many opportunities, and we did that today. So.
How valuable has Christian Kirk been for you guys? And obviously today, 2 touchdowns. He's
been awesome. I think just the way we communicate, the way he communicates with me when he sees things, whether that's in practice during the week, prepping for whoever we're playing, or that's during the game. There's a lot of times, some pressure stuff today where it's all about me and him being on the same page, and you see a lot of those big conversions and those, those quick throws that we have. It's because I know where he's going to be. I know how he's going to react based on the look before it happens, and we're building that, and I think it's really clicking right now. So that's something we got to build on, and I feel like I'm getting there with all of our guys too. So I feel like in that aspect, we're in a really good place, and we just got to keep building on that and keep doing that because that's really important, obviously. Yeah, thank you all. You guys be safe. Take care.
Here, and we're just talking about it on the break. Cam Robinson doesn't commit that penalty. Yep. You got a touchdown. You took 4 points off the board right there. So a lot of things that the Jags could have done that would have made this game closer, but obviously they didn't get them done.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars radio network. When we return, we'll wrap it up and preview a game 2 weeks from now. The Jaguars and the Ravens. The bye week coming up this week. Jaguars fall in Week 10 in Kansas City. 27-17 the final. Chiefs over the Jags. And this is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans that cover over 6,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call the MVPs at CarShield for the best coverage ever. Call 800-471-1223. 800-471-1223. Go Jags!
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Jaguars Postgame is presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score, 27-17. The Chiefs over the Jags. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Well, hey, it's the bye week coming up. Jags could have had it right after the London game, but we're pushing to have a couple extra weeks of the season go by, and they got that, of course, from the league. And now week 11 is the bye week to rest up, and then here we go. Ravens, Lions coming up after that. And then the Cowboys come to town. And, it's what it is. It's going to be a difficult stretch run here with 2 games against the Titans as well down the stretch, of course. So the next few games, bye week this week, Ravens at home, at the Lions, at the Titans, and then the Cowboys come here. And then it's at New York on Christmas week, Thursday night, short week, at Houston, home against Tennessee.
None of those are easy.
No.
I mean, Houston's not good, but they have had the Jags number 9 in a row. We know the Titans are tough, head-to-head. Detroit is a plucky team, man. They hung around today, and Justin Fields is running all over them again. Got to be the most yards in back-to-back games in NFL history by a quarterback. I know he set the record for a single game last week in the regular season at least, but despite that, Detroit came back and won that football game, and they beat Green Bay last week, so they're feeling good about themselves right now. I mean, I think the simplest thing to do, they need to put it out of their mind for a few days, and when they come back, it's laser focus on one thing, containing Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, because, I mean, JP, I think the likelihood is so small that they're going to make the postseason at this point anyway, but you lose that, and it's basically done. Just got to find a way to scrape one together. And I'll say this, I thought the Jags did a nice job on Travis Kelce overall today. And again, I'm going to have to rely on guys like Jeff Logman who break down the film to really know whether or not it was something that they imposed on him or if Patrick Mahomes is just looking elsewhere and Kelce was getting open. But the one main threat you got to worry about with the Ravens in the past game is Mark Andrews, provided that he is playing. Now, Isaiah Likely, the rookie, is coming on a little bit as well, but he only really gets a lot of reps when Andrews is out. Andrews missed this past game. Ravens on a bye this week, so we'll see if 2 weeks is enough to get him back on the field with a multiple set of injuries. And then they're going to try to run the ball down your throat because they don't have the outside guys to beat you deep and do it consistently. So, we'll see. We know what the challenge is going to be. We'll see if the Jaguars defense particularly is up to it.
Bye week plans, full slate of shows. What do you got?
Hoping to take off Friday, Monday coming up. but I'm still doing my Sirius XM stuff. So I do Sirius XM like every day. I got a Friday show, I got a Saturday show, but all day Sunday, don't you dare get in touch with me. Lose my number. All right. I am first full day I've had off all season. I am ready to go.
We will have, of course, a Jaguars drive time tomorrow morning on Jaguars.com, and then Jaguars happy hour in the afternoon, 4 to 6.
Sure.
Prisco and Baselli breaking it down. You guys will be on in the morning?
10 to noon all week long. Jaguars today, reacting to this one tomorrow with the Jaguars former quarterback David Garrard. Of course, Tony Smith, who's there with me every single day, chronicling what comes with the Jags.
What came today was a loss, 27-17. The Chiefs over the Jaguars in week number 10. That'll do it for those on our flagship station. 1010XL, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. Bucky Brooks might chime in. We'll see what the travel schedule is about in Kansas City. For those on the network outside of Jacksonville, you can also join us on our social media channels, Jaguars Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Your calls coming up. Patrick Cavanaugh is the VP of Production. Executive Producer Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio Joe Fortunato. Linda Fortunato and Tony Smith are our studio producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton, David Joe produce our videos for Jaguars.com. For Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying goodnight. Final score, Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars are future-focused. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, waiting to hear from you. Here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in the Scoreboard Show, 27-17, Chiefs over the Jaguars in Week 10. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Jaguars with missed opportunities today. Extra possessions, got 3 takeaways. They got an onside kick on the opening kickoff of the game and couldn't do anything with it early. They had their first 3 possessions on offense were all under 3 minutes. Kansas City built a 20-0 lead at one point. The Jaguars could never overcome it. The final score, 27-17. The Chiefs now improved to 7-2. The Jaguars are 3-7, and hopes are fading. Oh, there's the bye week coming up. They're going to have to really almost run the table here for any chance of sniffing the postseason.
Well, they are. And, I don't think you can even worry about it. You can't think like that. You got to focus on, first of all, everyone take a nice little mental health break for a few days, right? And let the stress go out, because it is stressful, man. I know Jaguar fans are hanging on the edge of their seat. I think a lot of people thought they could go in there and had a puncher's chance to win this game, myself included. And I think they did. I think they showed you that today. Gave up 4 points on the opening possession of the third quarter. This is not like a coulda, woulda, shoulda. They had the touchdown, and Cam Robinson flagged for something that didn't affect the play whatsoever, but it was a penalty. It shouldn't have been downfield blocking. It was crazy, especially the area of the field that they were in. He clearly didn't hear the play call right, or had to think that was a run play. I don't know how close that play call is to a similar call that is a run, because Trevor Lawrence had to look like, what are we doing here?
Now, did Trevor rolled a little bit on that play, didn't he? Wasn't he moving or
he
something?
May
held
have,
it a little
but,
longer than
but
normal?
This was like that seemed to me like Cam saw a linebacker and he was free and he just darted right to the end zone. Like I think if you think this is a pass play, you're just not doing that. So the 4 points there, regardless of what he was thinking. The 41-yard field goal, that's when you got to make. Right there's 7 right there, and then the other one was what, 51. I mean, that's like, you're not going to make it all the time, but in a game like this, you got to make those, right? I mean, we're talking about touchdowns, not field goals. Well, sometimes you have to try field goals. You're not in position to get the TD, and it's okay sometimes if you come away with 3 points. Well, there's the margin in the game right there. And again, things play out differently if maybe you hit those field goals and Kansas City's like, hey, we got to step on the accelerator here late in the game. But as it stands, I mean, there were plenty of plays to be made. They did make plays today. Look, there's a gap between how good Kansas City is and Jacksonville, clearly. And They closed it somewhat by stealing a possession early, although it really didn't amount to anything other than burning a little time off the clock. And then the turnover battle was big. But the pass rush for KC came up with 5 big sacks. Jags could never get Mahomes on the ground today, and that was a big difference in the game.
Certainly was. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. We will be here until 6 o'clock, talking you through it.
Sure.
One of those days.
Another one. Too many of them, unfortunately.
In fact, 7 of them now. 3-7 record for the Jaguars going into the bye week. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
And welcome back. It's the Scoreboard Show. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Jaguars fall in Kansas City. 27-17 the final score. Jags missed opportunities early, couldn't overcome them later. And the Jags now go into the bye week with a 3-7 record, and the phone lines are lighting up.
Well, yes, they are. So let's go out to them for the first time. 355-NFL-1. We'll start with Lance on the west side here on the Scoreboard Show. Lance, go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Hey, man. You're on the air, man.
You're on
What's
the
up?
air, Lance.
Yeah, I just want to know, this Terrell Walker, is he at all related to Herschel Walker?
No,
Thanks, Lance.
thanks.
Terrific call. Don't know who Terrell Walker is, but I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Get right on that.
Next.
Let's go to John in Callahan. John, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Please do better.
Hard to do worse.
John, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me put one thing up there. You know, if we had that 6 points from those 2 missed field goals, then you're talking about a team that you know is going. Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yes,
What's up?
We're listening.
Yeah, okay. So you know you got a team that's going to go that can play for the Super Bowl right there. I mean, the Chiefs are going to go maybe to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
And I'll leave it with you.
I mean, that's the glasses half full side of things, JP. I mean, but look, teams that are going to the Super Bowl lose to teams that are not as good as them all the time, right? The Bills didn't go to the Super Bowl last year, but they were one of the best teams, and they played a game that was amazing in the postseason against Kansas City. Jags beat the Bills last year. It doesn't make you on par with that team. We were saying on the break a moment ago, JP, the next time you play Kansas City, what if they have a 3-turnover margin in their favor? That's a 6-turnover swing from what you had today. You had it all laid out. And give the Jags credit. They forced turnovers. Okay, they made plays, and they protected the football. But even with that 3-turnover edge and the extra possession to start the game, getting the ball to start the second half, wasn't enough.
Chiefs lost to the Colts this year.
Sure.
Like, it can happen.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's other than, I mean, the Eagles are undefeated. I don't think they'll go undefeated. You know what I mean? I mean, the Jags played with the Eagles. They're up 14-3 on Philadelphia, all right, in Philly. And then the weather and the craziness came. But, look, you got to get beyond, hey, we can hang with these teams. They are improved in that regard, right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, they're playing even this was a close game. I mean, by NFL stand, 27-17 in Arrowhead as a visiting team. You lose that game, that's not a blowout by any means whatsoever. So the Jags have basically been in every single game this year. This is the first one that's been by more than one score. So I do think there's improvement, and the overall competitive level of this team has gotten better, consistently better, because you're seeing it every single week, yet they're still not quite there yet, and that is okay. It's frustrating in this season, right? But if we said, hey, man, they're going to win X, whatever that number turns out to be. Let's say it's 5 or 6 now, right? But they're going to be literally every single game, and there are going to be a few things, and we talked for years about, hey, if we could correct this, we could correct that, and these are in games we're getting beat by 20-something points. This is literally, you can see a few plays go a different way today, and this could have been at least a game that would have made the Chiefs sweat in the final few minutes of the contest. But didn't go that way. So I credit them for the plays they made, but they still got a ways to go before they're on Kansas City's level, in my opinion. Keep in mind, imagine if the Jags played without Christian Kirk, or if he got knocked out early in the game, and you came into the game without either Zay Jones or Marvin Jones available to you.
And you don't run the ball. Right.
And
right.
We didn't really talk much about him except a little bit in the pregame. Frank Clark is one of their best pass rushers, suspended 2 games. This was the second of those 2 games. So imagine if you had one of your guys, one of your starting defensive ends out for the game. Not that they got to Mahomes today anyway, and you can't run the ball. Right. So a lot of things, some things went right, some things went wrong. I still think there's a gap between these teams. That doesn't mean in any particular day, any given Sunday, as they like to say, the Jags can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They're just not likely to a majority of the time.
The Chiefs are an elite franchise and team right now. They have the personnel they want. They've got it all going. They've got the long-term coach there. They got the long-term quarterback. They're in a cycle of going to the AFC Championship game. So, yeah.
More than anything, they got the quarterback who is, without question, one of the top 5. I think, without question, one of the top 3. Many would argue the best in the league. I'm trying to be conservative here. Top 3 quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, easily, right? So if you have that, okay, I lost this guy, I lost that guy, and Travis Kelce's not having a big day. I'll go make Marquez Valdes-Scantling a star today. I'll get the ball to Kadarius Toney today. And, yeah, it's great that they have these guys available to them, but they are not frontline players, or at least haven't been to this point. It's Mahomes that makes that whole thing.
Oh, you're covering Kelce? Let's throw it to Noah Gray, the other tight end.
Let's go to and by the way, where the coaching comes in is the scheme on all those first 3 touchdowns, right? I mean, just absolutely wide open on all of them. So We've seen more Jaguar receivers get open this year like that. Like we've been asking for years, why don't we get a few plays like that? We've gotten more. We're heading in that direction. We're not there yet. We have not closed that gap. The Jaguars have not on the Kansas City Chiefs. But, tip your cap to Andy Reid, man. Those guys can still call a mean game even with some of their top weapons not available.
Let's take a timeout. Plenty more ahead. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. Recapping a Jaguars loss to the Chiefs, 27-17. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
If the last couple years have taught us anything, it's to show the ones we love how much we care. That's why Pet Paradise calls you by name from the moment you arrive. Why our pack leaders know each and every friend you like to play with out on the turf. And that you like some snuggles before you fall asleep. The more we see and get to know you, the more you'll see how much you mean to us. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else. Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. The Scoreboard Show continues after a Jaguars loss in Kansas City, 27-17 to the Chiefs. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and your calls.
Yes, 355 NFL1, as you mentioned several times. Ian in Birmingham is a Scoreboard Show regular these days, and he joins us now. Ian, what's going on?
Hey, guys. So I'm going to choose to focus on the positives today. There was some very frustrating stuff, but I will focus on the positives, which is Trevor played great. We are seeing that growth from him. It was amazing. This was an Andre Sisco coming out game. Holy crap, dude was smacking dudes. And Tyson Campbell. I mean, he kind of got burnt the first half last week, and he had a strong game. Didn't hear his name once. I don't think they even threw his way. So as frustrating as it was, and as annoying as the defense was at times by just letting Kelsey run around in 77. Those are my three positives.
All right, appreciate it.
Those are good. I like those.
I wouldn't say Trevor had a great game. I'm just like I do think it was a bit of a coming out party for Andre Sisco. I'll agree with that. Like at least in terms of physical play, right? We
haven't seen a lot of that from him.
No, that's what I mean.
That might be the one thing that you might say, hey, he doesn't really come up and hit guys.
No,
too
but
much.
he did. He was an
Certainly
enforcer
did today.
I'd say Trevor played well, but I wouldn't say it was a great game for him. 4 of 14 on third down. A lot of that's on Trevor Lawrence. You go back to those early drives. He was misfiring. Took him a while, again, to get into a rhythm. See, here's the problem. You steal the possession, you got to get Trevor out there early, right, where he struggled. But give him credit. He did hit Kirk on that pass, and Kirk dropped it. I mean, Kirk had an otherwise exemplary day out there today. So, as far as Tyson Campbell, if I'm the Chiefs, first of all, there's nobody like Tyson Campbell. Go pick which one of these second or third tier wide receivers to take out of the game, and we'll go throw to the other guy, right? I mean, so I think it was just smart. Like if you're Kansas City, don't even look his way, right? There's no point in doing that today. Patrick Mahomes threw for plenty on the day today, and I don't know if it was consciously trying to stay away from Tyson Campbell, but that's one I'd have to go back and talk to Logs after he watches the film and see just how well Campbell played. I'm not saying he didn't,
Yep.
And I'm happy that you're happy about Trevor Lawrence. Don't get me wrong. I think it was more positive than anything, but let's hold back on the superlatives when he really, he's throwing for in the, what do you have, 259
Yeah, he's
today?
efficient.
Right, he's efficient, very
he's
efficient.
Not throwing for 340 like Mahomes.
There'll be days to come when he throws for 380 and 3 touchdowns. Let's save great for then, right? I mean, it was good.
It's fine.
But there were, a lot of the misfiring early on, I felt was him missing guys, being a little bit off target, even on some of the ones he connected on. And again, you go back to 4 of 14 on third down. That's simply not going to get it done against the Kansas City Chiefs.
We're mentioning Andre Sisco, of course, 3 tackles on the day, the interception, 2 passes defense total in the game. But Rayshon Jenkins had 5 tackles today and the forced fumble earlier in the game, too.
He's played well this year. He really has. And he has had a lot more pass breakups than I would have expected him to have.
He had a bunch like week 1. He had 4. He had more in 1 week than he had all of last season.
Yeah. But
season.
he's added a few to that total along the way. He's played well, I think, for the most part. It was good to see him get out there again today, being questionable coming in. And, look, Sisco, we hope, turns into a star. We know he can get his hands on the football. That was his calling card. That was why you drafted that guy. The physical play, we'll see if it continues like this. It was nice, and it was smart physical play. It wasn't just hey, let's knock this guy's block off. Because sometimes you get frustrated when you get close, and they're completing those passes, and you don't get that clean shot. But in that case, he led with the shoulder both times, took his head out of the play. I mean, almost textbook, honestly, of how the NFL wants you to do it these days.
Another defensive conversation point that we'll probably have to dig into once the play totals come out tomorrow. Chad Muma had 5 tackles in this game. He was out there a lot today.
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd, it seems like the rookie thing's starting to get to him a little bit, especially in pass coverage. So I'm curious how much Muma actually played in the game, but he did have 5 tackles today. And that'll be something to watch, I think, down the stretch here after the bye week, what kind of playing time those 2 rookie linebackers get.
Well, you heard Jeff Logman say on the broadcast, when you're rotating guys in there, that means you're probably not happy with what you're getting out of your starter. And it's pretty clear that he's deficient in pass coverage right now. That's when you saw Muma in there in obvious pass situations. Devin Lloyd did have the fumble recovery, which was great. Helped stymie a Kansas City drive. But, I don't know if it's a rookie wall, JP, or just he's not quite ready for the sophistication of NFL passing offenses yet, which, shouldn't be a shock. He's a rookie. And I think teams have taken advantage of him a little bit on those crossing routes. And, look, they've got Muma. It's one of the areas where you feel like they might have a guy who's actual quality depth. So if he's doing better in that regard, why not use him?
0 sacks for this Jaguars defense.
It's the biggest problem. We were talking about it just before we came back into this segment. I think it's the biggest issue facing this team right now. They cannot consistently get pressure on the opposing quarterback. And
only 4 quarterback hits in the game.
Right, and Mahomes threw it 35 times today, which is not an exorbitant amount for
68 last week.
Right. That was really an outlier. Mahomes will throw it more than 35 plenty of times this year. But, yeah, he threw for 331. He was mostly unmolested. Like you said, they got some hits in there, but
not many.
Not too many, right? And
we saw the way he maneuvers around the pocket and then slides a little right and then throws off balance on the run for 20.
Well, if you want to talk about a guy you want to keep contained in the pocket, what do you think you're going to face when you play Baltimore?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my goodness. You want to talk about escapability.
Yep.
And then once he does, now, Lamar can make plays down the field. Keep in mind, Lamar's led the league in touchdown passes before when he won the MVP. He's not just a running quarterback, but he's got his weapons depleted. But, man, if you let him escape the pocket, look out. I mean, that guy could take it. You know, Mahomes is going to run, and on a big run, he'll pick up 20 like he did today. Lamar will go 90.
That's right.
He'll go as far as he needs to, as far as the field stretches out in front of him. So, got to get pressure on him, want to contain him. Nobody said playing pass rush in the National Football League was going to be easy, but the Jags have to do a better job than they've been doing lately with it.
By the way, Lamar Jackson's last game in this stadium was the Gator Bowl, his last college game.
Not that.
Louisville lost to Mississippi State, and Lamar threw 4 interceptions in that game. But he also ran for like an 80-yard touchdown.
All right, well,
So
I'll
there
tell
you
you
go.
what, I will give him an 80-yard touchdown if we can get 4 picks, please.
Yes, that'd
I'll
be
still
nice.
take the turnovers, even though it didn't work out today.
Last time he played here. Hey, let's come back. More of your calls, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Hi, I'm Chef Justin Timnery, Florida's culinary ambassador. If you've enjoyed preparing fresh from Florida recipes, then you're going to love the Fresh from Florida Club. As a member, you'll be able to search and save delicious recipes, create custom menus, and ask me your cooking questions. Each month, you'll also get a list of what's in season, so you can make your family the freshest meals possible. It's free and easy to sign up. And best of all, you'll be supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. Join the club at followfreshfromflorida.com today.
Basketball action is back at the University of North Florida. Come watch the Ospreys start their season at the newly upgraded UNF Arena. Be there for the men's basketball home opener, November 19th against SC State.
Free t-shirts for the first 700 fans.
It's also Military Appreciation Day. Military and immediate family members receive free admission. Go Ospreys, and thank you to all who serve. Visit UNFospreys.com for tickets and details. Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. This is the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey after a Jaguars loss in Kansas City. Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17. The Chiefs are now 7-2. The Jaguars are 3-7. The bye week coming up this week for Jacksonville, and then the Ravens come to town in week 12, 2 weeks away from today. And, of course, tough day today. Missed opportunities. The onside kick to open the game, and then they couldn't do anything with it. Punted it away. Got a takeaway on a forced fumble. Couldn't do anything with it. Had to punt away again. Chiefs take the lead on a touchdown. Jags go 3 and out, and then miss a field goal later. And then all of a sudden it's 14-0 Kansas City. Uh-oh, here it goes. And then just the slow start for the offense today, really. Didn't hold the ball long on any of those possessions early, and the Chiefs got out to a 2-score and then later a 3-score lead, 20-0, and that was about it. I mean, it was 20-7 at halftime. There was a chance in that middle four to maybe kind of turn the game there, but a missed field goal on another opportunity on a fumble kickoff return by Kansas City with only seconds to play until the break, and Patterson missed another field goal. So it could have been 20-13 there, and then starting the second half with the football, Jags got a field goal, but it was still a 10-point game at that point. KC put it away with a Mahomes to Kelsey touchdown, made it a 3-score game again, and that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, I wonder what the thought was on ETN coming in, right? Because he ended up with 15 touches, 11 carries in the game today, and I thought for the most part Kansas City did a solid job. Like, he opened up with a 7-yard run, and they get a first down. And then he gets one more carry on that drive before Kirk is unable to come up with that pass from Trevor Lawrence, and they end up punting the ball away. And then the next drive, Lawrence comes out. He connects with Kirk with a big pass, and then ETN goes for -1. You know, you're behind the sticks a little bit. The next drive, he opened up with a short run, and then Trevor Lawrence gets sacked, and then he gets sacked again on third down. So I don't know if it was a case, JP, if they just weren't in the right down and distance to lean on him a little bit more in the early going. Was it that they ultimately fell behind and got down by 3 scores, and they decided, you know what, we got to put this on the passing game a little bit more and try to get back in more of a quick strike thing? I think it's probably a combination of things. I think if they were in position to win this game and they needed another 10 carries in the second half out of Travis Etienne, I bet they could have gotten it. You know what I mean? But with the bye week coming up, but it is something to watch, I think, in the second half of the year. This guy's going to get into uncharted territory in terms of his workload. He was never a 20-plus carry guy at Clemson because he didn't need to be. And you're running against a lot more space and a lot more air on the defensive side when you are playing, even at the highest level of college football. So, you know, we'll see. He's young. His body, with the exception of his foot, didn't go through any kind of turmoil last year. So I'm sure he's going to tell you he could take on as much as they want to give him. But they should just be a little bit careful with him because as much as we've seen a play here or there from Jermichael Hasty, Travis Etienne had been gaining acclaim as, you know, one of maybe the top 10 backs in the league at this point in time. Jermichael Hasty's a kind of a journeyman veteran who's a nice player, but he's not that. So got to keep Travis Etienne fully operational in the second half of the year.
Yeah, and I think Travis is still there. I mean, this might just be a little blip.
Sure. I'm not saying he played with anything wrong that he did today. He averaged 4 yards a carry. He averaged 3.9 last week. So it's not like you're going to have those 7-yard per carry games every week. I just wonder, you know, if the game plan wasn't more, let's take a little bit of the burden off him today if we possibly can and get Kirk and Zay Jones particularly involved.
Yeah, they fed it to both of those guys for sure. There was the big drop early in the game from Christian Kirk that would have put up in the red zone after that onside kick. Unfortunately, couldn't bring that one in, but he did go over 100 yards today. Zay Jones had some big catches in the game, some third down plays, and those are your guys right there that you're going to have to lean on through the air and until Calvin Ridley gets here next year. This is what it is.
Right, and whomever else may come along. And, and you're getting ahead of ourselves here, but, you're going to have to rebuild the tight end room next year. And that's a little bit surprising to me today as well. Evan Ingram did catch what would have been a touchdown, but I feel like he needs more targets in the passing game just in general. I mean, it's great that Christian Kirk did what he did today, but they threw the ball to Evan Ingram only 4 times. He caught 3 of them, but for only 14 yards, so some really short area stuff that just couldn't get rolling today. I thought he'd be more of a factor.
Had his first touchdown of the season in London against Denver, and that was a nice opening on the left side of the end zone there early in that game, but yeah, they haven't been able to really get it to him a lot. It's a 1-year deal for him as well. So,
right, and which I'm sure, he wanted.
And yeah, exactly.
Right, that's what he wanted, to showcase his ability. And it makes total sense. You look at the Jags depth chart, well, you're going to come right in, and you're going to play a prominent role. You look at the coaching staff, Doug Peterson has made great use of tight ends as his time as a head coach, and he's going to be your offensive play caller, so it makes a ton of sense. You got a young quarterback that you think would want to have a safety blanket kind of player in the middle of the field, and he's held on to the football. That is one of the things that was a knock on Evan Ingram coming in on the scouting report. He drops a ton of passes. I think he officially has 1 on the season.
Pretty good
for the Jaguars. Yeah, so it's just I'd like to see him get some more opportunities to show that he could do more in this offense, because I think he can. I thought early in the year they did utilize him more, and got him going in specifically some third down opportunities. And I don't know. I don't know if he's getting lost in the shuffle, if it's like, hey, we want to get the ball to ETN this many times. We're going to focus on Kirk. We think Zay Jones has a matchup we can exploit. And I thought Zay Jones was solid today. He caught 8 of his 10 targets, only 68 yards, but a lot of those were chain movers, it felt like, or at least several of them were. It wasn't a day they moved the chains a ton. They did convert both of their 4th down. So if you roll that in, 6 out of 16 on 3rd and 4th down combined. Still not good enough.
We'll come back. One final segment to recap this one. A loss to the Chiefs. A 10-point loss to the Chiefs. 27-17 the final score. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on-airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final few moments of the Scoreboard Show. Thanks for all the calls earlier in the program. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, lost to the Chiefs today, 27-17. And the Jaguars are now 3-7 for the season. The bye week coming up this week. And then the stretch run. The Baltimore Ravens come in week 12. And then it's on to Detroit after that. Yeah, and there's some tough football games down the stretch, obviously. The Titans twice. The Titans won again today, so they're in command of this division right now. The Colts are playing as we speak, and at last check, they had the lead. Let's see now. Colts lead the Raiders 13-7 early in the third quarter. That game is in Las Vegas. So if the Colts can somehow get off the mat with the coaching change and everything they've had going on, Matt Ryan started the game today all of a sudden, so was warming up with the first-team pregame. Jeff Saturday gave him the start again, and so far it has worked out for the Colts. The Jaguars, unfortunately, fading a bit in the division race, but if the Colts can kind of find a way there, they could challenge the Titans. But for the Jags down the stretch, a lot of tough games, but plenty still to grow and learn on this offense and get these games in for Trevor and make the best of them, at least for him, and make him improve and get this receiving crew around him to catch some balls for him and move this offense and score. Just keep continuing to get better. You might not get some winning results. There might be some tough losses ahead, which we've seen already this year, but continue to see some improvement on offense. I think that's the goal moving ahead here. And they'll say, Doug Peterson said it after the game, we're trying to still win all these games. I get that part. We're not mailing it
right.
in.
We're not the coaching staff.
That's right. So I think they're, in the grand scheme of things, what would you want to see, Mike, the rest of the way?
Well, obviously, look, we want to see 6-1, 7-0, right, and really make a playoff push. But barring that, right, which is unrealistic for this team at this stage to expect that they're going to get on that kind of win streak. Number one is the continued development of Trevor Lawrence, right? Like, I'm glad when Jag fans see positives in him and they have that enthusiasm that he's getting better. But we got to get to a point where Trevor Lawrence, the bar for what is considered a good game, a great game, an excellent game is higher than it is right now. He needs to continue to push that bar up. And a lot of that has to do with just hitting the throws that are available. It's still an issue, I think, early in games. I think as the game went along today, he got in more of a rhythm, JP. But by that time, you're trailing by 2-3 scores, and it's tough to win football games that way. So I want to see him start off games a little bit sharper, right? And from start to finish, have those kind of performances where you're like, wow, you're not just like at the end of the day, oh, that's pretty efficient. But I wanted some eye-popping games out of him, quite frankly. I mean, this is the league we're in. This is a passing league. Everything's set up for that. Your weapons are all healthy. So let's get out there and get it done here in the second half. And I do think he has gotten better this year. No question about it. And I just want to see that continued improvement. So I'm not sitting here saying that Trevor Lawrence didn't do any good things today. I think he did play well. I just think there's a lot more out there for him. And let's not get caught up in saying that, oh, wow, how amazing he was, because there's a lot of room for growth. You're going to run out of superlatives. So that's number one to me. And sticking on the offensive side, let's keep all these guys healthy. Trevor Lawrence staying healthy and having the opportunity to grow is big. But, the same is true for all these other young players. Travis Etienne, I want to have a full season of him and have that experience where he goes well over 1,000 yards. And next year, he is a guy that defensive coordinators are saying, all right, we got to figure out where that guy is on every single snap. And I think that'll come with Travis Etienne. I want to see him. The one development I want to see is just the utilization more in the passing game with him. We got a few today, but I think I honestly thought this guy would be getting 6-7 targets a week, and it hasn't materialized yet. And it's not a team with great pass-catching options out wide, despite the game Christian Kirk had today. He's one guy. And if you're not getting the tight end that involved right now, let's go. Let's dump it down. Easy completions for Trevor Lawrence, particularly early in the football game. So that's something I want to see. I want to see Christian Kirk continue to build that chemistry with him. I don't know where the future lies for Evan Ingram, if it's going to be here in Jacksonville or somewhere else, but let's get something out of this guy. I don't want to say Marvin Jones is getting phased out of the offense, but I think he's a less important player right now. He'll still probably pop up with the occasional 80-yard game down the stretch, but he's also had 2 games in the last 5 where he hasn't caught a pass. And I had a beautiful diving reception today on a ball that I thought was laid out very nicely for him by Trevor Lawrence. So, and the offensive line just more of the same with those guys, right? I mean, and I pretty much run through is there anything offensively that I'm leaving out?
I don't think so. I think there are moments where the O-line has some key penalties where they don't need to, obviously. That can happen. But I think for the most part, that's been a very good group this year.
It wasn't their best game today, I don't think, with a couple of key penalties.
Pass rush, they
and
got
the
home.
5 sacks, and Lawrence getting hit a good bit, and really threw off his rhythm on even a couple of those runs where he's able to get it right back to the line of scrimmage. It was like that play was dead from the get-go on a couple.
But it's a complicated group. I mean, they're pulling guys and they run wide a lot, and they've been able to execute that in the run game a lot this year. And it's looked good at times up front. So it's good to see. Now defensively, I mean, for me, the number one thing you got to see down the stretch, and I don't know if you haven't seen it in 10 weeks consistently, you might not see it the rest of the way, is the pass rush. They have not been able to consistently get home on quarterbacks. Their high water mark for sacks this year was back in week 2. They had 5 sacks
of Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. And then they had 3 sacks against Denver and London, 2 last week, and 2 against Philly, and none today. 0.
Of course, that was the game for Matt Ryan where he was coming off a really bad ball security week. The offensive line was kind of in shambles for him, and Jags took advantage of it, right? But I'm with you, man. I like Trayvon Walker to some degree has a built-in reason. I don't want to use the word excuse, but we knew he was a raw talent, an athletic talent coming out. The coaching staff's got to get more out of him. They've got it, whether it's just teaching him pass rush moves or something. But at the end of the day, what do they have today? Like 1 tackle in the game, right? It's got to be more than that. Josh Allen is the guy, though, that I get it. You've got to have help out there, okay? But, like, Chris Jones is out there wrecking things without Frank Clark running around, and Karlaftis is a rookie who was taken way later than Trayvon Walker, and that's the guy he's playing off of out there today. I saw Karlaftis chasing Trevor Lawrence a good bit today. Josh Allen needs to step up, and pressure's one thing, man, but we got to get some game-changing plays out of him, JP, and it's tough to put it all on one guy, but he is the one guy that has the resume to some degree. He's been a double-digit sack guy. You picked up the 5th-year option, so he's going to be making big money next year. It's going to be deciding time sooner rather than later as to the long-term future of Josh Allen here in Jacksonville. So I hope he goes out there and goes absolutely crazy in the second half of the year. But we're sitting here now through 10 games, and he has 3 sacks. And that's not good enough. It simply isn't good enough for a guy that most felt was probably the best defensive player coming into the season. Now, that may have shifted in people's opinions to Tyson Campbell on this team. I think for a lot of people think Tyson Campbell's the defensive MVP for the first half of the year. We did a poll this week on that, and he was the winner. But, look, there are a lot of things to look for defensively here, right? Devin Lloyd, figure out what they're doing to you on some of these crossing patterns, and I think ultimately he will be back to being an every down linebacker, right? I think he's going through a rough patch here. That guy's way too talented. He has made plays for this team. So I'm not down on Devin Lloyd. I just got to see more consistency in that area. Andre Sisco, more of that physical play that we saw today.
It was nice.
It was excellent, man. And let's continue to pile up some of those turnovers as well. We know that guy can be a ball hawk back there. I mean, Andre Sisco gave you a flash. If he could put that physical aspect with the ball skills that he has, man, that would be a heck of a package. And really, cornerback play opposite Tyson Campbell. I don't worry about Campbell that much. I don't worry about Darius Williams all that much, but maybe it's these young guys like Monteric Buster Brown. Maybe Greg Jr. will get an opportunity off the practice squad later in the year, who was a draft pick this year, but they got to develop some guys in that pipeline. It's a passing league. You know, it's cliche to say it, but it's cliche for a reason because it's true. You can't have too many good corners, guys that are capable of playing at a high level, and they don't have enough of those right now. And then finally, I'd like to see Jamal Agnew pop the big one. I'm not like down on Jamal Agnew. Don't get me wrong. Jamal Agnew is still one of the best return men in the league, and it's tougher and tougher because so many kickoffs are not returned now.
That's right.
So many punts are hung up there a mile high. You don't get as many opportunities as guys used to have. But, boy, wouldn't it be nice if he could remind us of that Pro Bowl level ability a couple of times and take one or two to the house in the last 7 games. That would be fantastic. I know it's a lot to ask.
Yeah, the word is out on him too, so it's not like they're going to kick it to him.
Right. Look,
try to.
The guy's fantastic. I'm not knocking Agnew. I just would hope he can give us a couple more of those plays that got us so excited about him last year. And I should add to this, Riley Patterson, man. Look, I know they're not giving you a ton of opportunities to kick field goals, and I know the bottom line is the numbers, what is he, like 13 out of 16, 13 out of 17, whatever it is. They're not bad, but, man, did you need those kicks today.
Oof.
I mean, so I feel right now if it's anything over 40 yards, I'm nervous when he's out there, JP. So if this is the guy they're going to stick with for the final 7 games of the season, he's got to take advantage. This is not a team that has a big enough margin for error that they can afford to leave points on the field like they did today.
Jaguars today, tomorrow, 10 o'clock to noon on 1010XL.
Absolutely.
You and
Tony Smith will join me. David Garrard scheduled to join us in studio as well, and we'll continue throughout the week looking at how we got here through 10 games.
And then Jags Drive Time on Jaguars.com and Jags social media tomorrow morning, 9:30. Ashlyn Sullivan, Brian Sexton, John Ozier. And then from 4 to 6 in the afternoon on 1010XL AM and all the Jags social channels, Pete Prisco and Hall of Famer Tony Baselli and yours truly on Jaguars Happy Hour. We'll recap this one, and then it's on to the bye week. And the Jaguars will take a rest. They'll come back in Week 12 to host the Baltimore Ravens. Have a good bye week, Mike. Appreciate
Likewise.
it, as always.
See you in a couple weeks.
There he is, Mike Dempsey. Our thanks to Tony Smith, Linda Fortunato, David Cho, our entire crew. Thank you for listening. Final score in Week 10. Chiefs 27, Jaguars 17. It's on to the bye week, and this has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.